Welcome back to the Energy Center podcast, beautiful friends. We are here at episode number 60 today. I have a very special guest in the studio with me today. I'm so excited to have her here. She's a dear friend of mine, and we've had the opportunity to collaborate and also work together as yoga teachers. So I'd love to welcome to the show Kirstie Junker. Welcome, Kirstie.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to have you here. Kirstie is a 500-hour registered yoga teacher. She is a Reiki master and a mentor and also a mom. I love her little boy, Canyon. He is adorable. And Kirstie loves to live an embodied and heart-led life, and she really guides people and women to do the same. And I wanted to invite Kirstie here today to talk about a lot of different things, but I think where I want to start with you today, Kirstie, is talking about yoga. I was thinking about this last night, and I was just feeling into the practice of yoga, and I feel like it might be maybe the number one body, mind, and spirit practice in our community, in the country, maybe possibly even in the world. And I don't always feel like it gets acknowledged as that, as this whole self practice, right? Because sometimes we just focus on the physical element of yoga. Mm-hmm. So I'd love for you to share, how did you find yoga? What has yoga done for you in your life?
Yeah, thank you. So yoga came into my life, of course, at a difficult time.
Yeah.
And really brought me home to myself. I was in a corporate job and married to not my husband now, and was really stressed out.
Yeah.
You know, just like going nonstop. I was in a sales position, and I had these really long days selling events and working events, and I had been doing yoga for a while before that, and then did a teacher training because I loved my teachers so much, you know, so inspired by them.
Yeah.
And I did my teacher training and went on an international retreat to Bali.
Oh, wow.
A yoga retreat.
Amazing.
With my teacher, and then came back and my whole life transformed. You know, like,
I love when that happens.
yeah, like, it needed to happen, right? It was getting like so stagnant.
Yeah.
I quit my corporate job.
Yeah.
I ended up getting divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like gave everything into yoga. Really, I wanted to do that.
Oh,
for
awesome.
good.
Awesome. Yeah, I love how I feel like yoga is oftentimes the starting point for so many of us healers, right? It's the gateway drug, you know? It's like what brings us into this awareness. And I think it does that by starting with our physical bodies, because oftentimes that's how we're programmed to be, is like, oh, I got to exercise, right? But then it turns out to be so much more than that. And I just found out so much about you that I didn't even know. That's why I love having people on the show, because I'm like picturing this corporate Kirstie, and I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
No. Yeah. It was an interesting time.
Yeah. And so becoming a teacher and leading students is something that I see you're so passionate about. And Kirstie and I we've worked at different yoga studios together over the years. And we just kind of, we've crossed paths here and there. And then we've found a home together, I would say, at Vitality down in Eagle at the yoga studio we teach at. So it's such a beautiful such a beautiful way to see how, Kirstie, you've been kind of a big part of building the community there. I really feel that, and I see that for you. You're kind of this teacher and this mentor for so many of the students there. And so as you have grown into your role as a teacher, what do you feel that the profession of being a yoga teacher really embodies, or what's really important about being a yoga teacher?
Yeah. Well, for what it was for me is really what I want to give to students is like connection back to yourself, right? Underneath all the layers, like to see what's here, so that it's like a bridge between like the outside world and the inside world.
Exactly.
And it starts, right, really physical. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to be still with myself and see how that is. And sometimes that's really hard.
Yeah.
You know? And sometimes it's beautiful. And at least it gets to be
Yeah.
process.
Yeah. Beautiful. And one thing I also really love about your yoga practice and the way that you teach is there's so many creative elements that you bring into it. So whether it's a restorative class and you're like using the props in really different and unique ways, or just the flows that you teach are they're very inspiring. I love coming to your classes and being a part of the way that you teach and getting to experience, your different flows. And so I think that that's one thing that being a yoga teacher has really helped for me as well, is to come more into my creative energy and my creative flow, because you need to tap into that to prepare classes week after week after week for your students, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel that there is, or how do you channel your creativity, or how do you bring that into the art and the practice of yoga and being a yoga teacher?
Well, first I have to say thank you. And I think the same about your classes. I obviously love them. It started, I've got a lot of different trainings.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when I was like new to teaching, it started as like logistics,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have this much time
Right.
to do these things that I want to do, and really make sure that like I was going to hit all the points.
Uh-huh.
And now it's like, I just have to feel into it, right? Like, what am I feeling as I walk into the room? Who's in the room?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, what I know comes into my body, and it just goes from there. So I kind of got away from planning because that kept me a little less creative, honestly, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I write it down, then I feel like I have to stick with that versus, like, coming into the room, reading and feeling the energy, and then going from there. And I think that's how I really channel my creativity, is just feeling and being there versus like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And that just made me remember something about myself too, is when you're first taught to be a yoga teacher, you plan out your class, like every single little movement. And I've noticed that within myself, and even for my workshops. So I used to plan every single little thing. I would write out everything I was going to say. And that can almost act as a block for your channel and your creativity, because then you're not in the present moment. And yes, then you're not feeling into the energies of the different students that are there and what's actually coming up for you and for everyone else that's there. So I think that is really a beautiful way to think about how to channel your creativity, is to let go and release of any expectations or any need to plan or problem solve, and just be there in the moment. And yes, there can be some element of planning here and there. And at the same time, when we plan everything out to a T, then it doesn't give the energy the opportunity to flow and to move through you. Wow, that's beautiful. So as far as I've also seen over the years, I've seen this evolution in not only your teaching, but also what you're offering to the world and to your clients. And you really have this heart-centered focus. So bringing people into the heart space. And I know that's even in the name of your business, right? So I'd love for you to talk about your business and what you offer right now as far as mentorship.
Yeah, so my healing practice over and over and over again is about love. It's about coming back to love.
Yeah.
Not just giving love, but receiving love and moving through the lens of love and the energetic heart. So yes, it is the Heart Space Practice is the name of my business, and the mentorship is very much aligned with that. It's like, and it goes parallel to yoga, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how do we get back here? So currently my mentorship is the energetic heart. And the first 4 weeks, it is a training. There's a training component to it, but the first 4 weeks are like, what is here, and getting into your body, into your subtle body, the energetic body, and really like drawing back layers to become an open channel, right? To really like get in touch with source and divine energy, to just move from that place, which I think when source comes in, it speaks through our heart, you know, and then comes through our hands. Like I tell people all the time, like, think about when you're hugging someone and all this love, your heart, your hands are like embracing,
Yes.
you know, and that's the whole practice. That's the whole mentorship, is like getting back here, opening up this channeling energy that we all have.
Yeah.
And moving with it, moving through it.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about your journey into the heart space. So how did you come to find that coming into this energy center, coming into the heart was so important?
Well, you know, I think a lot of us didn't have the easiest childhood. And so that was a big part of it, is always kind of seeking outside of myself for validation. I then got into a relationship and got married at a very young age, and then divorced.
Yeah.
And that was a really big initiation.
Yeah.
To, again, like find myself, find the love that was here from me, for myself, that wasn't coming from an outside source. Because as much as that man is so beautiful and such an amazing person, like that was not it, you know? So it was really finding love that was here, giving it back to myself, because I so freely give it away to everyone else. Like I love giving.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I had to start receiving back from myself. And then another initiation happened, having my son. Really experiencing what unconditional love was.
Yeah.
You know, like to its very depth. In having a child.
Yeah.
And so over and over again, you know, especially when I get off track myself, it's like, okay, what do I come back to first? Is love, right? It's right here. It's like the easiest thing that we can actually grasp, and yet it feels so far away at times. So yeah, I guess it was just through a number of challenging things, right? A lot of shadow, a lot of people leaving my life over and over again to show me like, okay, this abandonment wound has to be my own love. Has to come from me. And so that's, you know, that's it.
Yeah, I love that. And I know the abandonment wound so well. It's been a big part of my journey. And I think that's a story that so many women share and we have in common, is as women, it's just our natural nature to give, right? To give. And that's kind of how we're programmed and what we're taught as we're growing up. And then we come to this space, this time in our life when we realize that being in that way isn't serving us, and it's actually really depleting us, and it's not healthy. It's not in a balanced way to be in relationship, right? And so I just am putting these puzzle pieces together of your journey and what has, led you back to your heart. And as you said, sometimes it feels so far away and it feels like it's inaccessible. But it's when we keep coming back to it over and over again, then it starts to get more familiar and we start to feel this beautiful connection that is possible for us to have in that space.
Yeah, it's that easy. This is home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If I just come home for a minute, I can keep going.
Yeah, exactly. It is our home. It is our home. So another thing that I've really enjoyed being a part of with you is these community circles or sister circles. And they are so very important. And I know for my own reasons why they are important. And I'd love for you to share with our audience today just a little bit about what inspires you, because you do them as offerings to our community, right? As like paid offerings through the yoga studios and things like that. And then you also have your own inner circle that you host, right? And bring together on occasion to just have us come together and sit in circle and really support each other. And so I'd love for you to share what has inspired you to build that around you, not just, in your external offerings, but to bring, that into your space, into your own home, and why sisterhood is so important right now on this planet.
Yeah, I know for myself, like gathering with women
Mm-hmm.
just fills my cup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really interesting because we can get together with one-on-one,
Yeah.
right? And have a
Yeah.
conversation and catch up, and it feels really good. And then you get a room full of women,
Mm-hmm.
all ready to connect and
Mm-hmm.
ready to be open. And it's so potent. Like, not only the amount of healing and giving and receiving,
Yeah.
but like there's no hierarchy
Mm-hmm.
in that, right? Because sometimes we go into spaces and it is about giving. It's like, I'm here
Yeah.
as a guide, right? I'm the space holder. And really, when we're dropping in with other women in a circle, it's like everyone is a space holder.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love so much about women's circles is that we can, one woman is talking and she thinks she's going off on a tangent and she's like tapping into all these different parts of her life. And
Mm-hmm.
every woman in the room is like, I understand.
Yes, totally.
Like, no, that wasn't a tangent. I like followed it completely.
Yeah.
It's just unity. Like, I mean, as an energy worker,
Mm-hmm.
I've never, every woman that I've worked on, we all have something in our womb.
Mm-hmm.
We all have something, like, from our lineage, right? From whatever we've gone through that needs to move, needs to be shared or cleared, or just focused on.
Uh-huh.
And so when we come into space with women, it's like this opportunity to start to share that, to start to open up, to start to feel into the energy. So it's really creating this unity, this healing for all of us. And, for both of us, like, I love singing with women. I love singing with you. It's just such an opening, and we, as givers, as women, showing up for other people all the time. When we sit in circle, it's like we can show up for each other and ourselves. And then all of these masks come off.
Yeah.
Like, we might be so many different people. So, like, one person, so many different people to all the people in our lives. And in a room full of women, we're exactly who we are, sharing from our hearts, right?
Yeah.
Together, just like being witnessed and then holding space.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's actually one of my wise women told me the other day, like, we used to get kicked out when we would bleed and we'd go sit in huts for 7 days. She's like, we don't get that anymore. And I'm like, I kind of wish we did. But that was like, the original circle was like, we're all going to bleed together.
Wow.
And now it's like, we just go on with our lives. So coming back to it and sitting in circle, it feels so good. And I love, I love hosting them and being a part of them. And then I love that there's also a space at the studio that also we can facilitate there and bring people in.
Yeah. To you, that's the thing. That's how, when women come naturally together, when we come into space together, it's like we sit in this circle. It's just like a natural thing that happens. What does the circle, just the configuration of the circle, or even the shape of the circle, what does that represent for women?
I mean, to me, it's unity, it's abundance and connection, right? Like, it's not linear. There's no beginning and no end.
Yeah.
So it's continuous. And especially in circle, when we have, women of all walks of life, different ages, different times in their life. And so that's that continuous circle. Like, sometimes my girlfriend brings her teenage daughter, one of the women that I sit with is in her 70s, like my mother-in-law comes, It's that continuous energy that's going to go forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Because it is this continuous energy, and it's like we keep moving through the cycle. The circle also represents a cycle, right? Of rebirth, of being in our summer, being in this active phase, and then coming into this more peaceful and calm and shedding and releasing and letting go phase, and energetic death in a way. And then it all starts over all over again. And I've noticed, in yoga classes, we've always been taught to like have that structure, right? Like everyone's in a line and they're all facing the teacher. And that's amazing and that's great. And sometimes we need to be in that formation, but there's something about sitting in the circle too, where everyone's on equal ground, right? Everyone's on equal ground and our hearts are all facing each other. And so it just leads to and invites in more of this open honest, authentic communication. And I will share, this is something that's been a huge part of my journey recently because, yeah, I used to think I was so alone. I used to think I had to do everything on my own. And when you start to come together in community, then you realize, like, wow, I'm not the only one that feels this way, or I'm not the only one who's experienced this.
Mm-hmm.
And so these sisterhood circles have been so supportive and so healing for me on my path as well. And you've been a beautiful part of that and just inviting me into the circle. So I have to say thank you so much. And I know that it's something that's really important to you as well. And I just see them going on and on and on again, like a circle.
Yeah. You know, what's interesting too is like sitting in a circle as you're talking, and I'm like thinking like eye contact.
Yeah.
That lets us feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And lets us like
Yes.
let down our walls as we can like look at each other versus like when we are all in a line and everybody's looking ahead, like it just, there's this layer of like, okay,
yeah,
I'm held here.
Yes.
Right? I can see every woman.
Mm-hmm.
I can see her eyes and she's looking back at me. Like it says a lot.
Yeah, it does say a lot. Wow. And so you mentioned singing. I'd love to talk more about singing. So Kirstie and I have actually hosted a women's singing circle, and it's something that we both love. We did our sound healing training together, and in the sound healing, our teacher was like, okay, we're going to do a group sound healing, and we'd love to have some of you sing. And Kirstie's like, me? And I was like, me? And so we sang this beautiful song together. And that's been such a huge part of my journey. I never thought I could sing. I loved to sing. I would sing in my car all the time and in the shower, but I would like listen to myself sing when the radio wasn't on. And I was like, I don't have a very good voice. And then through my own journey, I opened it. I worked with this sound activation coach, and then I just started singing. And I think that it's something that's so important for women as well, to not only open up the heart space and connect to each other with the heart space, but also to use our voices more and more and more. Mm-hmm. So what's been your experience with your own voice and singing?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, one, like I was so inspired by you, hearing you sing. I was like, oh my God, like that just hit me so hard. Because I grew up singing. Like I was in choir, and I was like won awards and all regional choir. And then, you know, throughout my journey, lost it, or didn't lose it, but like stopped. I just stopped singing. And always loved it. Yeah. You know, and I heard you sing in one of your classes, and I was like, oh my God. Right? Like this goddess just sang to us. And I was so inspired. And then when we did our training, that was one of the reasons I signed up for the training, because I've been offering sound journees for a while, but I wanted more. Yeah. And one of the things around it was like, your voice is your instrument. Yes. And I was like, oh man, you know, like, and plus like I got really, really sick after I gave birth. I had like the most beautiful pregnancy, natural at-home birth. It was amazing. And then I got really sick, and my thyroid just got interesting rocked. Yeah. Right? And it had once before in my life, and like cleared up naturally. So coming back to this love in my body and singing and really putting all of my faith in the divine to heal. And by the way, like also singing and trusting, you know, like just let that song come through. Yes, yes. Has been so incredibly healing and has healed my body in miraculous ways. And so now, yes, I sing in my classes. We sing, you know, I love to sing in women's circles. It has been a profound practice of healing for me. And what I also think is amazing is I think it inspires others to use their voice. You know, they like, just like you inspired me, right? I hope that someone hears me and they're like, and then like we do the singing circle, and someone's like, I don't know if I can sing. And I'm like, just come. Yeah. I'm like, just come and listen and hum and open up. And, you know, eventually we'll all make it there. but
Yeah.
it's important, just like sitting in circle, using our voice, like letting that vibration from our heart and our throat come out and be expressed is
Yeah.
so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like this is a huge journey just for women in general right now. Is yes, singing is amazing and it's helping to move energy. And singing does so much for me too. It's really like my husband went to Moab over the last 2 days. And so I was home alone for the last 2 days and I'm just like singing nonstop. It was just like coming out of me. I'm like, where is all this song coming from? And it's because there's something within our throats and in our hearts, because it's all connected, right? That wants to move. And I feel like this is for women everywhere and probably, men too. I don't want to leave the men out. It's for all of us is to really learn because there's been so much suppression of our truth and feeling that we can't speak or share our authenticity or be who we truly are. And so there's a lot of stuff in the throat chakra that really wants to move and move out through, yes, our words, through song in lots of different ways. So women coming together in circle to share, just expressing yourself in your voice. And then when you add the singing in, that like takes it to a whole nother level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we put all of these things together, like the women's circles and the yoga and the singing, it really feels like there is a movement happening on our planet. I know that you feel it too. But I've been asking my guests this lately because I think it's really important to not just hear my perspective, but to hear the perspective of other women as well. So how do you see, just in general, on the collective level, how do you see women evolving or this planet evolving at this time?
In a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one is around self-love.
Yeah.
There are so many things. I've been like really gently talking about this lately. There are so many things in our world right now that want you to hate yourself, right? That want you to change your DNA from the outside perspective. Like not to heal anything, but just to change, to be smaller, to look different, to not take up space, to adjust your lineage and like in your most beautiful ways. Like, and I think getting away from that and coming back to like, you are already so beautiful, right? There's already so much intuition and love right here that wants to come in and honing in on that and being of service and using your voice and being with other women and, finding the right partner to lift you up, to grow together. To me, it's like the revolution is all about love.
Yeah.
And it's going to start with yourself and then echo out from there.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's beautiful. And I oftentimes think of, yes, how we are just conditioned to think that everything is outside of ourselves. Like we have to figure something out, or we have to like take this class or take this medicine or whatever. But really it all starts from within. And I feel that when you say that, I feel that so strongly. Like the revolution starts with self-love and the revolution starts with going inward and connecting more deeply to ourselves first. And then that's where the evolution happens. That's where the revolution happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like too, it's, this connecting back to ourselves is also really connecting back to God, right?
Yeah.
To getting back in touch and listening and opening up so that we don't have to go Google like what's going on or ChatGPT. It's like, no, just like pause, get in connection and listen. And like your answer is there, right? And it's going to come through your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. This leads me back to kind of the beginning of our conversation and channeling our creativity, because it is about creativity, but it's also about our own knowing, right? Connecting to our own knowing and trusting ourselves and trusting the universe. So I'd love for you, because I see you also as this very intuitive person. Like I think when we come into this space, when we're healing, healing our wombs, healing our hearts, it like naturally just opens up this beautiful gift that we all have, and that's our intuitive channel. And so did you always know that you were intuitive, or did this just start to recently open up for you?
I mean, I would like to say like I always knew in my body, but I definitely tuned it out for a really long time.
Yeah.
And getting clearer and clearer has really helped. And also like, yeah, just being on the healing path and opening up and remembering, right? Remembering the way back. I mean, when I first started energy healing, I'm very clairaudient. When I very first started energy healing, I had ringing in my ears for like a year. It's like, what am I not listening to?
Wow. Right.
So like, what is trying to come in? And so, honestly, with that is like getting sober, like clearing out any of the noise, because I was numbing out for a really long time, just thinking that was helping. And it wasn't, you know? Like on an external layer, it was helping, but it wasn't. And so, I had to come back to that intuition and to source and to knowing like it's all available. Yeah.
I think I'm glad you brought that up, because this is something that I've been thinking as I'm writing my memoir. I'm thinking a lot about this as well. Like it tends to be this common theme that a lot of us have, is we had this party phase, right? Where we're like going out and partying, numbing ourselves. And I think it's a combination of, yes, like trying to numb from the pain, from the healing that needed to happen, or that we were, trying to avoid feeling the emotions. And I also feel like being sensitive to energy, it's kind of like the easy thing to do is to just like shut it off, so you're not like feeling everything all of the time, right? So when we emerge from our party phase and we are faced with all of these emotions or these old pains or old traumas that need to be healed, it can be really, it can be a lot, right? Because we feel so much. So much. So I guess what my question is around that is, what have you noticed has shifted when you became sober, when you stopped drinking and you're more in the healing era of your life? What inspired that movement to that next phase?
Yeah, I mean, it's just random the way that it happens, but really before I got pregnant, I would have, drinks, like go on the river a lot, drinks on the river or whatever, going out a couple nights. And then before I got pregnant, just randomly, I was like, I just feel like I want to be sober. And then, this baby comes into my womb.
Wow.
It's like, I mean, everyone, there was like a question that really used to trigger me, like, was it planned? And I'm like, what do you mean was it planned? Like, of course, no, it wasn't like planned, but like, it was planned in my timeline. And so really getting sober for me has just been clearing out, like, right? Just really, really, I can connect a lot deeper to myself, to source. And it's really like pulling back the layers of what's here. In my healing, like I'm a Virgo and I like to try and control. So that has been part of it. It's like really seeing where I try to control. And like working with that, I can't control time, that this is actually a lesson for me. Someone showing up late is my lesson. It's like nothing to do with them, but it's for me to like patience, right?
Yes.
So it's just been getting clearer and clearer, and not having any fogginess. Like there is no question about what's coming in, because it's just a clear channel,
right?
And I think that's, for me, it's like so important.
So on my journey, I feel like when you remove that external, like the alcohol or the marijuana or whatever it is, then you notice a difference. You notice how much clearer your channel is and how much more connected you are to yourself. So it's almost like when we release that and let that go, then we are truly coming back home to ourselves, because we don't need that external piece to make us feel like we are fitting in, or to make us feel like we can be ourselves, when really I have found when I am not drinking, it's like I can actually be more and more of myself, and like, wow, I never even needed that. It was just a journey to come back around to that. Does that make sense?
Totally. And in fact, like, to have like this layer of whatever it is to take you away from yourself, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it takes me out of my body,
Yeah.
and it like puts me straight into my thinking mind of like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh God, what
Totally.
have I done?
Yeah, totally.
So
Totally.
to be just clear and open is so much better.
Yeah, it is. I want to come back to the womb space, because that's something I've been talking a lot about on this show as well. And I also feel when I'm talking about it, sometimes I can feel already the response from the collective, and I still feel like there is such this strong disconnection between our wombs and just women in general. And so it's been a journey for me of healing that as well. And I love that you said every single client you work with, there's something there, right? There's something that wants to be healed. And whether it's our ancestral trauma or it's the programming or whatever, this is a part of us that is really like coming out and wants to be acknowledged and wants us to connect back to it. Like, it's almost like my womb is like screaming, has been like trying to get my attention, right? And I feel like there's so many issues that other women have in the womb space in the collective, and it's all for a reason, right? So in your healing work with your clients, how do you guide them to connect to their womb space?
Usually it's through different practices, which is a lot of, it's not like, okay, we're going to physically do something.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, we're going to look at what this trauma is. And not so much look at it as like talking about it, but like, what does it feel like when it comes up? How do we move through it? And also, this is where I use instruments for resonance in the body. So a lot of time there will be a physical instrument vibrating on the womb space with energy work. And then, like simple practices and questions usually that are connecting without saying, this is exactly what you're doing. So that we can, it's like, doing a yoga pose, like you're doing broken toe and you're smiling to like tell your nervous system, like, this is good, right? It's like we're like subtly getting under the layers into healing without extreme going in. And sometimes, and I've done this with a few of my clients and I love it so much, it's like a rage scream, right? Like, what are you holding? Like, open up and just let it go when it comes out. And it needs to just be like, expressed. Like, expression is usually what wants to come out. Because I think too, like, the programming is so strong, especially, and in my own experience, like, women are portals. And the minute you get pregnant, everything is around fear, right? Like, you're going to need to go to the hospital. What if something happens? Oh my gosh. And it's like, meanwhile, women have been doing this for years, like with their midwives, with other women in the community, instead of having like poking and prodding and all these different things take over from your just experience of being pregnant. So,
And it all comes back to that, that channel, that connection to our own inner knowing. And it's all, as you're speaking, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is all connected. The womb, the heart space, our sixth chakra, our third eye, it's all so much connected to our body, to our mind, our spirit. And when we start to do the healing work and like clear away those blocks, then we realize how it's all connected and it's all speaking to each other. So it's like the womb is talking to your heart, is talking to your intuition, is talking to your soul, right? And I love what you said around just like having women, because again, having them like have that primal scream and releasing, it's releasing something, and we don't even always need to know what it is, but it's letting go and it's making space, and it's for more of your own essence, for more of your own energy to come back in and take up space instead of the old stuff, whatever it is. And that just feels like a natural, intuitive thing to do sometimes, is just to let the energy move from you, move through your throat chakra, move through your voice, however it wants to, right?
Yeah, I think we can be so logical about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we want to see things written out. What does this mean? And how is it supposed to move? And it's like, no, just feel it, right? Let it express in whatever way, whether it's screaming or dancing or whatever, singing.
Yeah.
And like the word primal
Primal
is really the important piece here, is like, it doesn't need to be scientific. It needs to be remembered. So that primal knowing.
Yes, because there is this knowing within us. We already have, I tell my clients this all the time, you already have the answers within you. It's just the need to go inward to find them, and the need to like trust what's coming through, because we've been so programmed to trust or listen to the things outside of ourselves instead of listening to what's within.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, Kirstie, do you feel like there's anything else you want to share with the audience today? Is there anything else that's on your heart?
I just think, keep coming home to yourself is like the best piece of advice. And like you said, we don't have to look outside of ourselves. Like, you go through life and someone is always going to try and sell you something, a device even. And that's not it.
Yeah.
It's here. It's already here. And we want to get to the point where we don't need something else. Like healing the body so that it doesn't become a physical symptom or something bigger than what we can take care of. Yeah.
And there's so many different ways to heal ourselves too, right? There's the yoga, which we talked about. There's the Reiki. There's working with a mentor or a guide. So there's sound, using our voices, singing. Nature, yeah. So there's so many different ways. So I'd love for you to share, Kirstie, how can people connect with you? How can they reach out to you?
Yes, so my website is theheartspacepractice.com. That's where my offerings live. I have something right now in the month of March that's free, a free offering. It's a 21-day journey called the Divine Return. So it's a meditation practice, a journal prompt, and then like a somatic awareness practice that gets emailed to you each day. And then I'm also on Instagram. My name is Open Hearted Kirstie. There's a little underscore after Open Hearted. So those are the two spots.
Awesome. I'll also put that in the show notes for our audience to see and connect with you. And please remember to like this podcast, share it with your friends. I'd love for you to comment and say what's moving through your heart or through your voice at this time. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And that way, when you share, when you engage, then that helps to move all of this energy around the rest of the planet so others can experience it as well. So thank you, Kirstie, so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. I love
you. Thank you. Love you too. Namaste.